have yourself a deeply fulfilling life. Because there's going to come a time when all of this is going to not matter. It's all going to go away. The hands, the face, the body. And then what? When you're rattling out your last breaths, what's going to matter then? I've had some negative comments about talking about love too much. But that's all there is. That's it. So in your moments of grief, you actually love that grief. You love it so much that you expect it. I do it too. We all do it. Because we're not feeling it fully enough. There's always some ultimatum attached to it. Guilt or shame, responsibility, ideals, perspectives. But just feel it fully. If you're going to be sad, be the saddest sad you can possibly be. Go into it so far that you get to the very root of that sadness. When I was little, I was raised by my grandparents, and my grandma was wheelchair bound. Great person, but wheelchair bound. And my grandpa was working all the time, and my mom just wasn't there. And I didn't get enough play. So I would make up little adventures and scenarios in my head, because we didn't have any, there were no children on the road that I lived on in northern Minnesota. I was the only kid on about a 5-mile stretch of road, gravel road, right? And I was 17 miles out of town also. So the only time I really played with other children was when I was at school. So, as you can imagine, I didn't do that very well. And I realized that, my God, that's why I play with my son so much. Because I never got it when I was a kid, and I'm finally able to be free enough to play, just to have fun, to wrestle as best as I can, to dance and laugh and make believe and pretend, because that's good for a kid. So I never really got play. I didn't get playtime. I didn't have a father to show me that kind of stuff. And so that's why I think it's so valuable for my son now. I get to do that. I get to be playful. I get to be the guy that laughs. And sometimes I take it too far. Sometimes I laugh at things that aren't supposed to be laughed at. But there's a humor in it. A very subtle humor in everything. There's a subtle humor in our pain, in our suffering, in the idea of living, because it all leads up to dying. And then what? Then you're stuck, right? You're stuck in the middle of it, just like you've always been. So those early years of playing by myself and making up solo adventures and stuff were getting me ready for this part of my life, where I can create cool little scenarios to interact with my son. Because it did help my imagination. So I've been having lucid dreams about my mom, because there was a long, long period of time where I held a grudge against her. And there was never a need for that. She just was who she was, dealing with her own struggles, And how often do we do that as parents? You know, we're dealing with our own struggles, our own pains and stuff, so we overlook the children. We get so deeply involved with our own suffering that we forget we are the ones that are creating suffering for others by not listening to them, not being there. Because I'll tell you, people don't come to you to ask for advice. They come to you because they need you to listen. Because that's all we're really doing. We just vent this stuff out to kind of go, this sounds right, right? And we just sometimes need another person to substantiate it, to go, yeah, man, that was painful. Like, they're not even looking for an answer. They're not looking for a cure. What they're looking for is the fact that they don't have a disease in the first place. That's what it is. We just are looking for validation. Our children are looking for validation. Our friends and family are looking for validation. Hell, the politicians, the CEOs, the stars, they're all just looking for validation. And we validate them in whatever way we can. And there's a subtle peacefulness to that. I've said before in earlier videos that people aren't looking for help. They're looking to help themselves. In the spiritual community, people say that you can't help anyone, which is very, very true. But you can be there. You can listen. You can be a stone. You can be that foundation that they need to validate themselves. And that doesn't mean that you have to take it upon yourself. What it means is that you're just there as a sounding block until they ask your opinion, your 2 cents. So don't give it to them until they want it. How often do we go out of our way to make our opinion known? Hell, I'm doing it right now. There are times for teaching and there's times for learning. There's times to be the guru and times to be the student. And that's just things as is, to coin a term from the great Shinichiro Suzuki. Things as is. Just be in that moment. Allow them to get the thing off their chest. And 9 times out of 10, that's all they needed to do. And that's what a good friend is. That's what a good father is. That's what a good mother is. We are just there to listen. My grandma was really great at that. She'd just listen. She wouldn't give you any answer. And that's all you needed. 9 times out of 10, that's all you need. Until the question comes up, can you help me? I've gone as far as I can, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Maybe you do. Maybe you from the outside are looking in at me and going, hey, this is what you need to do. Give me another idea or perspective on what I'm doing. So there's no reason to fret over any of this stuff. Because eventually, all of this goes away. And then what will be? It's just the experience. So live it up. You are worth it. I am worth it. We're all worth it. Put your opinions aside and just go, I am good enough to be loved by me. And then by default, you're loved by others. And if you're not, who gives a fuck? So always Much love.